Some of you probably already know, reading articles on the internet and stuff about this COVID-19, but why this whole unit that we're about to take an endeavor on is so applicable and so relevant right now. And so some of you guys may have seen this simulation that I'm about to show you. It's from an article written by Harry Stevens from the Washington Post very early on in this whole process. But this is essentially what happens with coronavirus when we lead our daily lives. Orange people have it, blue people do not have it. And you can see that each time that an orange touches the blue blue gets the virus. Now, in this case, the purple are the people that have recovered. But that situation is super scary because it didn't take long for that entire screen to fill up with with orange, with sickness. And the reason for that is because we have a situation like this. One person, you can't see that super well, one person turns into two. They pass it each to two other people, which means that 4 new people get it. They each pass it to 2 new people, which means that 8 get it, and so on and so forth. And so for a lot of you that did the Desmos activity from yesterday, you saw, let me screencast this for you. You saw that we were talking about this particular picture right here, which looks similar to that makeshift graph that I just showed you. In this case, 1 is passing it to 3, so on and so forth, and you can see the exponential growth that is happening. Now, the social distancing piece in this, why our senators and our representatives and our president and all the medical experts are encouraging us to stay apart, is when you break out bits and pieces of this chain, you can see this person worked from home, this person didn't go to that barbecue, this person didn't fly, this person stayed home. All of a sudden, instead of the one person turning into 64 here, we have the one person take out all those people, and it's only turning into about 15 over there. Okay, and so the moral of the story is that exponential growth is incredibly powerful. So on January 15th, when patient 0 landed in the U.S., so there was a guy who was visiting family in Wuhan, China, and he flew back to Seattle on January 15th. We're going to call that day 0. There was only 1 case in the United States. Well, if we're going to follow that average, that every 1 person gives it to 2 new people, that means that we're just going to double. So on day 1, there would have been 2 new people that would have had it, making 3 total, okay? I'm just adding them up as we go. On day 2, these 2 people would have given it to 4, okay? That gives us now a total of 7. 3 plus 4 is 7 total people, okay? Each time we work down on this table, it's doubling. On day 3, there would be 8 total, or 8 new people that have it, giving us a total of 15. Okay, on day 4, this 8's going to turn into 16 because each time we're multiplying by 2, multiplying by 2, multiplying by 2. Okay, and so the 5th day we would have times 2, 32, 31. So on day 5, 63 people in the United States theoretically had it. And on day n, it would be 2 to the n power. 2 to the 5th is 32. 2 to the 4th is 16, so on and so forth. Now, what's scary about it is today is the 77th day since January 15th, when the first guy landed in the U.S. with coronavirus. 2 to the 77th power is in the trillions, which essentially means that virtually everyone in the United States would have had it had we not taken the precautions that we did. I'm going to screencast one last thing for you in terms of what it is that we are now doing to help ourselves. When we do the quarantining that we are currently doing, that first picture that we had turns into this. You can see that most of the dots, the blue dots that don't have coronavirus, are stationary. They're staying at home. Now, obviously, there are some people that are moving. Those would be the grocery store workers and the doctors and nurses and medical workers and those people that have to work, garbage men. But you can see that they're passing it to a whole lot fewer people than in that original one when they were just bouncing off each other at all times. And so what ends up resulting is an exponential growth graph, which you're going to see in the coming days. Looks like this. It's got an asymptoted 0, and then it just shoots up and up and up and up. And that's how it modeled in the U.S. On those first few days. January 22nd, there was 1 or 2 cases, and by March 13th, we had 2,200 cases. So hopefully this helps to explain a little bit about the exponential growth piece and what we're getting into and how it relates to coronavirus. Maybe you didn't learn anything new. Maybe you did. Hope you guys are staying safe quarantining. See ya.